Let us continue with the significance of principles of management. Now we will be easily able to understand the significance of management principles as we have done the various principles given by Henry Fayol and F.W. Taylor. So the first significance is providing managers with useful insight into reality. That means management principles, they give managers an idea. Useful insight means they get the ability to foresee into future. Foresee into future means the managers can get the idea what kind of situations may happen in future. Okay, so management principles provide managers with useful insight into real world situations, like if there is a reason of work, so they can get the idea that there will be a specialization. If the principle of unity is not followed, they can have the idea that because this principle is not followed, there will be a confusion and conflicts. So like these, the management principles, when these are followed, they develop the knowledge, ability and understanding of various managerial situations. That means today a manager faces one situation. If the same situations come to the uh, next time, the managers, they are able to understand that situation and how to overcome that situations. That's why they learn from their past mistakes. That if they have committed any mistake in the past, then they can learn from these mistakes and solve with the help of management principles, which result into the increase of managerial efficiency. So next one is optimum utilization of resources and effective administration. So we know that management, this is being applied in every field. We are studying about business. So business may be sole proprietorship business, business may be joint stock company business, but we are here concerned with the every kind of business because management is a pervasive force, and in every kind of business both human and material resources are available, and the managers, they have to put them into the optimum use. Means no wastage should be there. The resources should give maximum benefit with the minimum cost. Now, you have studied that principles establish cause and effect relationship. So, while taking the decisions, the managers, they use the principles while taking any decisions, which can reduce the effect of trial and error method. Sometimes that managers, while managers, they have to take the decisions, that decision should be free from biasness. They should give more focus on the growth of the business in spite of any personal interest. In this way, the resources can be optimally utilized. Now, scientific decisions. So we have studied in detail about the scientific principles. Scientific principles, they are based on the facts. ऐसे नहीं हमने fatigue study बना दी. We have studied on few labors. One group of labor was not provided the rest interval, and other one was provided with the rest interval. Those they were provided with the rest intervals, their productivity was increased and the others was not. So that's why a decision was made to work on the fatigue study. So these decisions are based on the facts, thoughtful and justifiable in terms of intended purposes. क्या चाहते हैं आप, उसी फील्ड में डिसीजन लिया गया, उसी चीज को देखते हुए डिसीजन लिया गया. एंड द सेकंड इम्पॉर्टेंट थिंग इज that decision should be timely, realistic and subject to the measurement and evaluation. ऐसा नहीं कि decision ले लिया and there is nothing to evaluate. No, decision should be timely, realistic and subject to the measurement and evaluation. And management principles helps us in logic rather than the blind faith, as well as objective assessment of the situations. Meeting changing environments. Yes, meeting changing environments. That management principles are flexible. They help us in meeting the changing environments. Like we have said that centralization and decentralization, where the organization is small, that centralization principle can be applied. Where the organization is large, decentralization principle can be applied. Not, it's not hard and fast. In spite where there is the requirement of some changes, means जहाँ centralization apply हो रहा है, there decentralization can also be applied to some extent, not wholly, to some extent. And where decentralization is being applied, then their centralization can be there. So in business management principles can be applied by taking some flexibility, by observing some kind of environment, then the principle can be applied. The next is fulfilling social responsibility. That managerial principles help in fulfilling social responsibility. How? Now, if you remember the principle of equity says that everyone should be provided with the equal wages when they are doing the same work. I'm not saying that each and every person should be provided same wages in an organization. No. If the persons are doing the same work, they should be provided with the similar wages. This is the principle of equity. When we will provide training to the workers, the workers' knowledge skill will also be increased. This is also a social responsibility. Management principles, these were developed in response of the demands of the various situations. ऐसा नहीं कि कोई भी principle develop कर दिया. तो management principles help in fulfilling social responsibility. The next is management training, education and research. The management principles, they provide training. I have joined as a manager and I have not applied the principle of scalar chain. Think of a situation. Do you remember scalar chain? What was a scalar chain? The scalar chain was chain of order and communication, chain of command and communication. It will follow through a particular way. Particular way will be followed. If it will not be followed, then what will happen? There will be chaos. So I have not applied the principle of scalar chain, and what happened? There was so many chaos. Next time I will not do this mistake. I will not commit this mistake. तो मुझे सीखने को मिला ना. तो principles of management, these are the core. The core of management theory means जान है ये मैनेजमेंट की. And they provide training and education to the person who is applying to the management principles. Now you can see that these principles as help in various situations. These are the management principles are pervasive anywhere these can be applied. So that's why they provide a groundwork for the development of management as a discipline. That's why that in while doing the professional courses, these principles are taught being the part of curriculum. But to some extent these can be refined, and these facilitate the for the development of new management techniques. So next is